Accent Gaming Army. Listen, it's Steve, I'm the Accent Gamer, and it's been a while since I've done an upload, so I figured I'd do one finally. Listen, the gaming world's been crazy lately, especially on PS4. We've had Detroit Become Human, we've had God of War, we've had all kinds of great games coming out lately, so I wanted to take a minute to update you about some new games, as well as talk to you about a couple older ones that are coming up on anniversaries that are really cool. So first off, let's talk about God of War. It's getting 10 out of 10s on all the reviews for a good reason. It's an amazing game. It's very detailed. The graphics are phenomenal. You know, when the PS4 came out, I was actually a manager at a GameStop, and I remember thinking to myself, you know what I can't wait for? I can't wait for God of War, because I knew they'd eventually do it. Now, I figured they'd go back and do something with maybe another story about his brother, or something like that, and not go with Kratos because of how God of War 3 ended. I was happy to see that I was wrong. They changed so much about it. It's a completely different game. There's 1,000 videos out there about reviews about it, if you're wondering. But from what I've played, it's phenomenal. I'm about 75% of the way through. Now, as a very busy parent, I don't really have the time to sit around and play games as much as I'd like to. So why have a gaming channel, I don't know. But anyway, it's definitely worth playing if you have a PS4. In fact, I would say it's even a console seller. You might want to get a PS4 just to play this game. It's that good. They take elements of RPG that have never been around, and basically the upgrade system of weapons from the past is back. I'm not doing any spoilers here, but basically, except this time it's revamped. There's now a skill tree that definitely makes it worth playing around in. Also, Detroit Become Human. Now this game, anything by Quantic Dream is amazing, alright? These guys always have been graphically ahead of their time. It's like real life motion capture done to the extreme. I mean, it's photorealism in a lot of cases. You can tell who the actors are, and it's great. But what's really good is it's 3 different movies in one, and you get to decide how it plays out. So even your most minuscule choices really do help out. You may make a choice to bring someone with you, and later they'll come back and save your life. Like, it's that big. And your characters can die at a moment's notice. For example, I've done like 3 playthroughs, and I'm done playing the game, but I've done 3 or 4 playthroughs, and there was one case where I was having a conversation with another character, a non-playable NPC, that's what I was going to say. I was having a conversation with an NPC in the park, and next thing I know, he shoots me in the freaking head, and that was it. Game over. Like, no kidding. So it's that easy for things to change. It's a great game, definitely worth checking out. If not, I mean, even a rental. It's only like, I think, 10 to 12 hours. So you can play through it multiple times. And the cool thing is you can actually go back through and just play certain chapters, so you don't have to go through the boring stuff if you don't want to, because there is a lot of boring stuff. Character development, that sort of thing. But once the character's been developed, if you want to see how the rest of the game plays, why go through the same character development stuff, right? So you can go back and actually play through. And the cool thing is you can play through in 2 different ways. You can either say, okay, I want to save from this point and continue the game on, or I just want to see how it would have played out. So that's kind of cool. There's also I'm not going to ruin it again, there's other videos for that. There's a very meta moment at the end of the game, and it's crazy. So that's pretty great. I also have recently beaten Far Cry 5. Now, if you liked Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 3, more of the same, but what's really cool is it's a wide open world, and to discover new things you actually have to talk and interact with people. The Pause for Hire, I think is what it's called, or Claws for Hire, something like that. Jaws. Fangs for Hire, that's it. The Fangs for Hire system is awesome. Boomer is a dog who you can hire that's really cool. There's a cougar, there is a bear. Like, it's a really cool buddy system there, and the story on that one is intense. If you don't know a lot about it, I think this game is not getting as much critical rave as the other ones, and it's because the villain isn't so out there and crazy like Voss, and he's more down to earth. But if you do a little research on the actor, you'll find that he is a method actor, the actor who played the villain in this one. I gotta tell you, he nailed it. Like, it's creepy because the actor looks like he believes it, and it's because in a way he does. And of course the promotional stuff, Ubisoft is brilliant at their promotional materials, especially when it comes to Far Cry games. So there's a little movie online, I think it's a half hour, 45 minutes. You should definitely check it out. I think it's something about Eden's Gate, but worth taking a look. That game's really good. It has 3 endings. One of them is super mediocre, one of them is meh, and the other one is pretty freaking rad. So that's what's up. That's all I'm going to tell you there. Now, on to the older games. So, for older games, I've been playing Friday the 13th, and I play it a lot. I love that game. It's a phenomenal game, and what I like about it is a lot of times, a lot of the upgrades that they do are free. So like new Jason skins, that sort of thing, free. Jason kills you might have to pay extra for, or costumes, but a lot of the updates are great. And if you look at this game from when it first came out, which, let's see, the servers were crashing left and right, and the graphics were subpar. It looked like a Kickstarter game, but now there's so much detail and little Easter eggs in it that it's ridiculous. Like, you can actually go through the cabins and see a calendar on the wall that says it's Friday the 13th, or photos on the wall that were taken from the movies, or in fact, I died once and I was looking really close at the wall, and they actually have gone through and done the wood grain. So they've taken the time to go back and really graphically update the crap out of this thing in ways that I don't think a lot of people realize or appreciate. Plus, the kills are spectacular. If you get to level 45, you unlock Jason, I think, part 4, and he's got a pig splitter, and some of his kills are just brutal. And of course, the motion capture done by Kane Hodder, who played Jason in like 3 or 4 of the movies, is phenomenal as well. So it's a great game. There's also a challenge mode for offline play that's really cool, and you get CP, which you can use to upgrade perks. And now they have a legendary perk section, which I haven't been able to get any, but they're pink, and they actually offer 2 different benefits. So that's really cool. Now, I've been playing that game for a year. It's been out for a year. And Dead by Dawn Dead by Daylight has been out for quite a bit longer than that. And so I finally decided to pick that one up, traded a couple games and got that. And I got to tell you, it's nothing like Friday the 13th. They're very different games. They play differently. They look graphically differently. This game makes Friday the 13th look very campy, which is okay. I mean, it's fun for what it is. I enjoy it. My wife and daughter prefer Friday the 13th to Dead by Daylight, but I really am starting to dig it. You can play as Michael Myers, who is my favorite character. You can play in Haddonfield, which is a really crazy hard map. You can play as Laurie Strode as a survivor, which with Halloween coming out on October 19th of 2018, it's pretty fun. That's been out for about a year, that map pack. It's $7.99. Also for $7.99, you can get Nightmare on Elm Street. You can play as Freddy Krueger. I love Freddy. I love him, and I was really kind of disappointed because in order to kill survivors as Freddy, you actually have to bring them into the dream world, which makes sense for his character, but it's really hard because there's like a 7-second wait, and then you can only hurt them if they're in the dream world. So if they're in the real world, you can't hurt them, which is stupid. You can also play as the Jigsaw Killer. They call it the Pig, but it's Amanda from Saw, and she comes with her own survivor as well. But that one is really cool. Like, you have this ability to dart fast really quick, and then you put a trap on the head, and the timer is going off, and they have to find a billy puppet and solve a puzzle to get a key in order to get the trap off. But while they're doing that, if they screw up, you hear where they are, and you can hunt them down. So it's crazy cool. It's an interesting game. I don't like playing as a survivor as much as I thought I would, but when you do, it's pretty terrifying. And there's like 11 or 12 different types of monsters you can be, so it's really cool. So that's what I've been up to as far as the Accent Gaming goes. I've been uploading videos just because I have another channel called ADD Magician. Feel free to check that out. I'll leave it in the description if I remember to. And with that, I go and do street magic, and I go and that sort of thing. I also have yet another channel, so I have 3 channels total. That's why I haven't been on this one a lot. But the other channel is called The Soapbox, and on that I do rants. I do political rants. I do rants about art, basically whatever I want. It's a vlog. So that's pretty much what's been going on with the ADD Magician and the Soapbox, taking up a lot of my time. Plus, I'm a full-time student, and I'm a dad, and it's summer, so it's been crazy. But thank you very much for tuning in if you haven't seen me in a long time, and I will catch you playing the PlayStation. Later!